hold on. Can we switch the language? Do you know what I'm talking about? And he had those
right.
twins that spoke Spanish.
I never watched
Oh, well, neither did
them.
I, but I watched Every Day, Bro, because it
Well,
was
yeah.
spectacular.
The
It's Every Day, Bro, with that Disney show.
Black Hood. We're called the Red Circle. We're coming for you. We will find you. Find you. We will hunt you. Hunt you. We will land you.
We open with the funeral service of Midge Klump. Who better to perform at her service than Sherelle Blossom, accompanied by an a cappella group of the Vixens.
The Vixens in their morning
in their morning cheer outfit. It's deep winter again in Riverdale,
Yes,
and there's snow on the ground.
There's snow on the ground inexplicably.
We're around Midge's death. That's all that they need us to know.
That's all. Yeah, exactly. That's all that they need us to know. Mrs. Klump is very upset as well, and she and Cheryl are both directing their anger at Sheriff Keller. You could have done something for JJ's death. Now you could have done something for Midge's death.
Yeah.
And like, we're really needing you to step the fuck up.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Klump even smacks him across the face.
Honestly, the return of the Black Hood really does unify the core four.
Yes, they are no longer beefing at all, apparently.
Yeah. The core four goes to Pops together to debrief and be like, so do we think it's a copycat killer? Do we think the Black Hood maybe didn't ever die? And Archie is like, hey guys, I'm starting to have serious doubts about Mr. Svensson. And it's like, girl, now you're having doubts? Not when you were chasing him down the school hallway, slamming him against the locker?
Yeah, Betty and Jughead are on the side of there was another person helping Mr. Svensson, like a scream situation.
Yes.
And so Jughead is like, Betty, I might be Chic. What's one thing that connects Chic and Mr. Svensson? They were both at the Sisters of Quiet Mercy.
Yeah. Apparently, while Chic was growing up there after being surrendered by Alice, Mr. Svensson was returning to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy to work as a groundskeeper. Betty and Jughead go over to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy and start interviewing Sister Woodhouse. Yeah. Betty's like, Cheryl told us about your conversion camp. We'll bring the FBI here if you don't tell us.
It's sort of like, no, you should still turn them in for this.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if the FBI is showing up.
But long story short, Sister Woodhouse is like, okay, here are all of the sensitive files. It's confirmed that Mr. Svensson and Chic had a 2-year overlap where they were both there at the same time. But the rub of it all, remember, this is Charles Smith that goes by Chic. Under Charles's file, there's a picture of a little kid, a little tyke, that looks nothing like Chic. Who is that guy? Who's that man? And Betty is like,
Bughead goes to the Cooper house to confront Chic about this.
Chic is there with Alice. He had to give a police statement because he was snooping around the backstage during Carrie the Musical.
Right.
And people were like, what's that chickadoo doing here? So he's reconvening with Alice after talking with Sheriff Keller. Bughead walks in and is like, don't trust that man.
Jughead goes, shut the hell up, imposter. Oh my god, he's cracking me the fuck up.
Shut the hell up, you imposter. Betty's like, Mom, look at this literal picture of a child that looks nothing like Chic. Alice is like, wait, who are you? He is scanning like a cornered animal. He's scanning the room. Chic sees a butcher knife on the counter.
And he slashes Alice
across the forearm. She like recoils. And Betty grabs a rolling pin and donks him on the head. The blood splatters from Alice's wound over the picture of little not Chic.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's been conked out by Betty. He wasn't even of Alice spawn.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't even in like Alice's womb.
Yeah.
So, okay. Archie is back on his vigilante shit.
Yeah.
Because he's like, Mr. Svensson wasn't the Black Hood. Who's the real Black Hood? He's back. And Ronnie's like, I need you to not go crazy vigilante on me because I really need you right now with my parents and their mobbings.
After the Midge crucifixion, the lodges are like, ooh, we can low-key use this as a campaign strategy.
Like we can go door to door assuring everybody that we're safe and that we're going to do a
we
hit
need that
piece
prison
on
Sheriff Keller.
They were going to get Ronnie to tell Cheryl, hey, you should write a hit piece on Sheriff Keller.
And yeah.
But Ronnie's like, I'm stepping back from your craziness.
I'm not being Miss Pawn anymore.
Yeah, and Hermione herself goes to Thistle House, which I'm sure is like the only time she's ever done that.
But Ronnie is taking that step back. Archie is trying to take like 2 steps forward into like patrolling again. It doesn't help that Archie is being stalked.
Yeah, he's being like Halloween style stalked.
Halloween 1970 with Jamie Lee Curtis. Archie is walking around Mr. Svensson's house poking around.
And then we get like a bling
and
a sting.
A guy in a black hoodie walks by really quick. And Archie's like, who are you? Black hoodie guy turns slowly, and we don't see his face.
He's got like a black morph suit on, akin to the Pretty Little Liars scene where I think it's Aria or Allison that is being like stalked by like 7,000 A's in a playground. It's that vibes because Archie is looking at Mr. Morph Suit guy, and then a bunch of black hooded people come and start jumping him and kicking him and knocking him out and shit.
Yeah, so Archie gets conked in the head.
And, kidnapped.
We cut to a creepy abandoned warehouse. Unfortunately, Archie has been bound and gagged.
Or fortunately.
Hey, perspective. And 2 goons are like holding him down against the chair as he struggles. Luckily, this was not a Black Hood attack.
No, this was... So who have we been missing from this season? You know, there's somebody that I just really want to see on my screen again. Nick St. Clair
has abducted Archie. And so Nick St. Clair is now calling Veronica to be like, I have your little playboy. Come get him. Give me $1 million.
Ronnie's like, oh my God, Momsy Popsicle. Please help me. Like, Archie is being held for ransom. And they're like, okay, well, we have to tread lightly because the St. Clairs are a family, a mob boss family.
Yeah.
And Ronnie is kind of shocked by this. And I was like, I thought we knew this, no?
But apparently Ronnie's like, I thought they were just music producers.
You fucking idiot. I'm sorry. And Ronnie, I'm still not cool with Ronnie, by the way. Like, her and Betty might have made up, but I'm still not cool with her. I'm going to take, like, a tangent real quick. So I started listening to an audiobook that's called The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, because I was just like, I need to do something. I need to feel something, right?
Yeah.
And then I stopped listening to it, get this, because it said that there wasn't going to be any explicit sex scenes, and I'm sorry, that's why I started listening to it. Anyways, this is a tangent, and here we are. But the first chapter was called Immovable Bastard Meets Unstoppable Bitch. And I love that.
Hermione and Hiram are like, Mija, we're going to go to the St. Clair parents directly, try to do some negotiations. Don't do anything rash. Whenever Veronica leaves, Hiram is like, low-key, that's not Ohana. Like, Archie's not blood.
And he's not my son. And if we... fooled for this, they're gonna come after Ronnie next.
So like we need to like set a precedent of not being weak. And Hermione's like, yeah, I guess. And it's like, girl, y'all made Archie do bloodbaths with you.
Like you gave him a car, you did all of this shit, like you've made him swear himself to you. Like Archie is sitting there and he's like, what do you want from me? Nick, I broke your legs, but like, what do you want from me? And he's like, well, I need to make my bones with my parents so that they will treat me like with the respect I deserve, even though I'm, a serial rapist.
And
like,
Nick is like, yeah, they think I'm an embarrassment and I will never live up to the family business.
And it's like, well, yeah, you are, and you won't.
This is where we really get into the parallel play of this episode, where Nick St. Clair is wailing on tied up Archie Andrews. Bughead and Alice are low-key wailing on tied up Chickadee in the basement. Chick is duct taped to a chair, and he's like, I am Chick. I'm just not Charles.
Like, I never said I was Charles. I said I was Chick. Oh, fuck off.
Turns out this entire time, Chick was secretly Charles's roommate at that Flophouse motel.
Yes.
They met on the streets. They started, like, living together, loving together,
there's
hooking
not a
together?
Yeah, there's not a confirmation that they're like they were lovers, but it feels like they were lovers. And Chic heard from Charles about the fact that like he had another family, the Coopers, that were like this perfect all-American family. And then when Charles had come to the door to talk to Alice and like maybe try to be in their life, Alice had turned him away
and been like, no, we're not interested. Maybe she thought he was a door-to-door salesman.
Maybe she thought he was a random guy. Like it's not all on Alice, so she's gonna take it as it's all on her. Because then Chick says he couldn't handle it and he OD'd like right after.
ODing on JJ. Jingle jangle.
Yes, jingle jangle. Like, okay, what?
Alice takes that really badly. And Betty's trying to console her again. And Alice is like, no. Betty, you and Jughead stay downstairs and watch him. I'll be right back. And Alice just walks out of the house, not answering any of Betty's questions. Betty is like, where are you going? Are you okay? Who are you going to see? Alice leaves Betty and Jughead to just watch Chick in the basement.
Mm-hmm. Back to the Archie plot.
Yeah.
Ronnie is like, well, if my parents are going to do shit about it directly and get that ransom $1 million for Archie, I'm going to do it. So she goes into the safe at her house.
In the study.
And she goes, beep, 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 beep. My birthday, of course. And she goes and she's like, oh, that's not $1 million. That's not enough.
Oh.
She grabs the money that she does see, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna call Nick and tell him I have the money. So she does, and Nick is like, well, guess what? You're gonna have to meet me at Pop's in order to do this like hostage negotiation situation.
Yeah. Nick is basically like, Ronnie, it seems you haven't given me $1 million, so you're low-key not gonna get Archie back for this. But there is something you could give me. What we started in New York. What we almost got you that night at the Five Seasons. Give me your body, Ronnie.
And he's like, I'll book a suite. You just come there and bring your body with you. And she's like, even if I do this, how will I know Archie will be safe? And he's like,
Take my good word as a gentleman.
Like, girl.
Fuck off.
And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
Anyways, so she like agrees, but we'll see like what she has in store here.
Yeah. We cut back over to the Keller house,
where Tom Keller is nursing a big old whiskey on the rocks.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, Kevy, I know that you want to stand up for me. And Diva, it's actually low-key like looking better if I just like step down. So, you know, I think maybe I'm considering it. And then they hear whoosh.
A big crash in the driveway. Someone has destroyed the
front windshield
of Sheriff Keller's cop car and graffitied it. Sheriff Killer.
Obsessed with that. He does, after this, spurred on, is like, you know what, I am gonna step down because I think that if they bring in somebody outside of the city, maybe they'll be actually okay with like finding the Black Hood.
We cut over to Alice. She's made her way over to Sunnyside Trailer Park, where FP greets her with open arms and nothing but immense concern because Alice is breaking down in front of him.
And she's like, no more secrets between us, FP.
Remember high school? Remember the adoption?
I had your baby.
I gave him up and I turned him away. I killed our son, FP. I made him OD.
And FP's like, whoa. Hey. Maybe, first off, I have a son that's not Jughead. Right. Second off, what are you talking about, Diva? And he's like, Chick? Is Chick okay? And she's like, no, it's not Chick. He's not Chick. It's Charles. It's Charles, our baby.
FP just gives her the biggest embrace and they just cry it out. And it is crazy. I feel like I moved on too quickly of the fact that they did have a child together.
They had a child together. His name is Charles Smith.
Yeah.
Which low-key means Betty and Jughead share a brother.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
We cut back to Archie. He's looking rough.
And Nick is like, guess what, Archiekins? I'm going to go have sex with your girl.
Yeah, and I'm going to live stream it for you. Watch this little laptop. Nick also more directly threatens Archie. I'm low-key going to make my bones with you, Archie.
And by that, I mean I'm going to kill you.
Kill you, yeah.
So not only am I getting $1 million and your girl, I'm also going to kill you, so you're actually not going to be let out at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Super villain Nick.
If this wasn't crazy enough, Betty is sitting there looking at Chick, being like, what the hell am I supposed to do? She goes upstairs and lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop.
Bum bum bum. Black Hood is back.
And he's fucking calling, and she still hasn't changed his damn
Ringtone.
ringtone. Hey, Betty, it's really me, Diva. I'm back.
I'm back.
I know you missed me. I'm going to need you to give me Chick because he's a sinner, and he's from a den of vipers.
He knows that Chick murdered the shady man in the Cooper kitchen.
Yes,
and it's like,
so he figured that out somehow.
Who the fuck knows that?
So she's like, Jug, I can't explain why, but we're going to need to go back to the flop house where Chick and Charles lived.
So they do.
There's a sign on the outside of the station that says, no dogs allowed. Absolutely no dogs. Cat's okay, with a little drawing of a cat. And I just really, really, really like the vibes of that.
I do love that. They're just knocking on every door on the hallway where Chick used to live. Right next to Chick's door, though, you know, number 237, shining door number. Like, middle-aged, slayful lady opens the door and she's like, oh, hi, how are y'all? And they're like, this is random. We're talking about one of your old neighbors. Was it this guy? And they show the picture of little Charles from the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. And slayful neighbor lady is like, OMG, yes, that was the nice one. He was always like saying like buenos dias and carrying my groceries.
Yeah. And he was really slayful. And, you know, he was with that miscreant.
that mean one. I would always hear them fighting. They would get like real rowdy. And one night, I don't even know what happened, but I went out to the dumpster the next day and there were a bunch of bloody sheets and tarps just stuffed in the dumpster, and I never saw the nice one again, but the mean one stayed.
I wonder what could have happened. Girl, what?
Girl, who are you?
Like, huh? Anyway, so she gives this information very willingly and also with a smile on her face.
Yeah.
And
implying that Charles was murdered by Chick, not ODing on JJ.
So they race back home, and Betty and Jughead are gonna rough Chick up a bit.
Yeah, to get some real answers. Betty goes in for the choker.
She's choking her, not brother, her stranger who she thought was her brother, being like, I know what you did. And he's like, your brother was a junkie. I don't care what happened to him. Bleh. FP and Alice bust into the room, and they're like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Please stop. Like, this is crazy. FP pulls Jughead out of the situation, and Jughead's like, what the hell, man? We're just gonna leave Alice and Betty with that like sociopath tied up in the basement. And FP's like, after everything that I did to Jason Blossom and his body and the murder and the cover up of the shady man, I'm taking you out of the situation. If Betty and Alice decide to absolutely murder Chick, you're not going to have any part of it.
And then Alice is like, okay, in this vein of having no more secrets between anybody, I'm going to tell Hal about the shady man that Chick murdered.
Yeah.
So Hal is like, what?
Yeah. Hal is flummoxed, which is fair.
And he's like, well, where is Chick now? And they're like, in the basement,
tied up.
And he's like, we need to go to the police. And Alice is like, no, they'll know about the shady man.
And I'll go to jail too because I helped hide the body. It was me and Chick. And Betty's like, and Alice is like, shut the fuck up, Betty. You did nothing. Go up to your room. We cut over to Veronica getting ready for the crazy night at the 5 Seasons.
It's dark-sided.
Upsetting, yeah.
She's putting on her lipstick, gazing at the locket that Archie gave her with their faces in it.
For Christmas.
And shows up at the 5 Seasons for Nick.
Yeah. And he's like got caviar, champagne, pate.
Which I was like, that's the least sexy food, but go off, Diva.
They're sitting down talking, and Ronnie's like, well, let me fix you a little drink, and we'll just talk about old times and reminisce. And Archie is just watching all of this play out in his little, like, stream. Archie starts, like, kicking the table that's, like, has the laptop on it, because he's like, I don't want to see this. Duh. And then he's like, wait, if I kick the table, I kind of get some backwards momentum on this chair that I'm tied up in. So Archie starts rocking, kicking the table, kicks himself backwards, and breaks the chair underneath him.
And so he's out of the chair.
And Mr. Goon that was supposed to be watching him is like, in the corner and is like, I heard a kerfuffle. Let me go look and see if Archie's there. Where'd he go? And then Archie whaps him on the back of the head. Archie is booking it down the streets of Riverdale.
Like running the way that KJ Apa does, where its arms are flailing like this.
It's low-key really dramatic, and I really like
it.
It
is. It's giving... He's coming for me.
He's like rushing to get to the 5 seasons before anything else happens with Veronica. We cut back to Betty with a gun pointed at Chic's face.
You're going to take a little walk with me. And he's like, Betty, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Archie is busting through the doors of the 5 seasons, trying to find the room that Veronica's in. He's shouldering it. He's banging into that door. He kicks it down. His whole force falls into it, and he lands on the floor right next to a passed out Nick St. Clair.
And a high-heeled Ronnie foot.
Just precariously positioned. You did it, Ronica. And she's like, I gave him a taste of his own medicine. I roofied him. And the little funnel of how I snuck in the roofie juice, it was in the locket you gave me, Archie. Mwahaha.
Mwahaha. And they smooch.
And it's really beautiful. And Ronnie is like, let me flip the tables. Dial on my cell phone. Mr. St. Clair, I have your son here, and I'd just be interested to know how much he costs if you want him back. Betty has led Chick to a snowy cemetery with a gun at his back. And she's like, hey, Chick, it's just you and me. Be honest for once in your dirty, dirty life. And he's like, I did murder Charles. I didn't mean to. We got into a little tiff, and suddenly I hulked out. I didn't mean to, Betty, but I did murder Charles.
And she's like, right, that's all the confirmation I needed. And he's like, by the way, when you were leading me in here, who were you talking to? What was that crazy ringtone? And I'm sorry, it was really killing me. Like, he's like, why the fuck are you talking to somebody
with a lollipop?
With a lollipop ringtone.
Yeah.
Who indeed was she talking to?
The Black Hood appears
in the flesh
at the edge of the cemetery.
And she's like, I'm going to give you a head start. I'd say you have about a 70% chance of survival. And then the Black Hood starts walking up closer and she's like, 60.
50.
And she's like, I would get going if I was you. And he's like, ah!
So Chick starts
and he starts running,
making a beeline. The Black Hood takes a beat, looks at Betty, and then absolutely books it after Chick.
So it's giving, okay, Betty, you really just served him up.
Yeah, and now Chick is being hunted in the woods
by the Black Hood, and we don't see the conclusion of this.
But Betty just walks on home. We cut to the Pembrokica. Ronnie has piled up $1 million in cash on their kitchen table. And she's like, hi, Momsy. Hi, Poppykins. I just actually, blackmailed the St. Clairs and got Archie back. And they're like, we said we were going to do that, directly and not make a kerfuffle with the mob. And she's like, yeah, funny thing, when I was talking to Mr. St. Clair, he actually said that y'all hadn't contacted him at all.
And he didn't even know that Archie was kidnapped.
So it turns out you guys were doing nothing for Archie. You can explain that to him yourself, though. He's in the study.
Hiram sits down with Archie, and Archie's like, yeah, when I was sitting there getting wailed on by Nick, I just kept thinking, and I'm like, finally, he's going to be like, Daddy, I can't do this anymore. We need to break up.
Yeah.
Nope. Instead, he's like, I haven't made my bones yet. I'm going to kill the Black Hood for you, Daddy.
And Hiram is like,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I'll do anything to aid you in your quest. What? Girl, Archie, that was not the response. The response was, fuck you, Daddy, I'm out.
We cut back over to the Cooper house, where Alice is just nursing a glass of wine on the stairs. Betty enters.
And Betty's like, I took care of Chick. I dropped him off at the bus station. And Alice is like, okay. They hug it out, and Betty's like, wait a second. Where's Dad?
And Alice goes, he left. He went out looking for you.
And then we kind of get a beat of Betty's face where she's kind of thinking really hard about that.
Who would have known that the shady man was murdered in our kitchen? Who wasn't around whenever I was leading Chick to his grave? Quite literally at the cemetery.
Betty is not putting pressure on Archie, but she's getting closer.
She's getting closer. Definitely with the entire Chick not being her actual brother, the return of the Black Hood. Betty is really having a lot to do. And that's lovely. We love to see it. And just the absolutely cantankerous moves of the Black Hood being back on our screen.
Yes. I'm watching a video of how the toy animatronics kill you. From Five Nights at Freddy's. Just thought everybody should know.